ठीक है ठीक है अभी शेयर करो अभी आ रहा है ओके ओके ठीक है सर ठीक नाउ यू गो टू द दैट स्लाइड आ रहा है सर बस बस आ रहा है सर आ रहा है एक मिनट यू जस्ट गो टू द स्लाइड एंड फुल स्क्रीन हाँ फुल स्क्रीन बस नमस्कार am I Dr. Kuldeep, are you able to listen to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Whether slide is moving?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So thank you. So on my personal behalf and on behalf of India Meteorological Department, I extend warm welcome to our friends and colleagues from press and electronic media for this monthly press conference. I am sorry for the little delay in connectivity problem due to connectivity problems. So today we will be discussing about the rainfall and temperature outlook for February 2025. Now, if you just look at rainfall during January 2025, you will find that it was highly deficient month. It was 72% deficient for the country as a whole, and except South Peninsula, all others were highly deficient. South Peninsula was near normal. It was 7.2%, 7.2 again 7.6, and therefore the departure was minus 4.7. So by that way, the rainfall activity over South Peninsula has been normal, and over other regions it is highly deficient. On the right hand side, you can see the figure where you will find that in the South Peninsula, Tamil Nadu, Rayalaseema, and coastal Karnataka got excess rainfall activity during the January 2025. And in the north, only East Rajasthan and Assam and Meghalaya was excess and normal respectively. Otherwise, there was a deficient rainfall activity over remaining parts of the country. Now, looking at the rainfall series over the period of 1901 to 2025, you will find that like last year, rainfall was less this year, and there is a decreasing tendency of rainfall for past 4 years, starting from 23, 24, last 3 years, 23, 24, and 25. And it was the fourth lowest if I compare the data of 125 years. And it is the third lowest since 2001. The rainfall over homogeneous regions of northwest India was seventh lowest since 1901 and fourth lowest since 2001. Now, let us look at area-weighted rainfall over central India during January. And you will find that it was also less than normal, as I told a little earlier. And it was 0.3 mm for central India, which is fourth lowest since 1901 and second lowest since 2001. Now, if I look at the temperature during January 2025, the top panel shows the maximum temperature, then minimum temperature, and then mean temperature, that is the average of maximum and minimum temperatures. In the bottom panel, you will find the temperature anomaly. Anomaly is nothing but the deviation, the departure from the normal. So the yellow and orange color indicates the above normal temperatures, and green or light green indicates below normal temperature. So by that way, the maximum temperature we will look at, it has been above normal over the deficient rainfall zone like northwest India, northeast India, central India, northern parts of peninsula. The area which got good rainfall activity, there you can find our South Peninsula, especially Rayalaseema, Tamil Nadu. There it has become below normal maximum temperature. Considering the minimum temperature, it is also above normal over northern India, and it has been below, slightly below normal over some parts of South Peninsula and central India. The the mean temperature is dominantly influenced by these two, especially the mean temperatures. However, South Peninsula was slightly below normal, as maximum temperature was also below normal. The remaining parts of the country was normal to above normal temperature. Now, if I compare January 2025 and as for rank based on data of 1901 to 2025, you will find that all India maximum temperature was a 12th rank and minimum temperature was 5th rank, and minimum temperature, mean temperature was third rank. It was the third highest. All India temperature was third highest for January. Now, considering Northwest India, it does not occur within 10th rank. And East and Northeast India, if you just look at the minimum temperature was second highest and mean temperature was third highest. That means East and Northeast India was also warmer. And Central India, if you just look at, it is not coming within rank for maximum minimum temperature, but it was sixth highest considering the mean temperature. The South Peninsular India, it was not coming under any rank because it got good rainfall activity and hence the temperature was less than the normal. Now let us look at the highest temperature records with corresponding ranks since 1901. Same thing what I told in the previous slide. So considering the minimum temperature for all India, it was the fifth rank, and departure from normal was 1.04 degrees Celsius. Normal is 11.46 and it was 12.51 degrees Celsius minimum temperature. Now all India T mean, that is the mean temperature, average temperature, it is the third highest as it was average temperature 18.98 against normal of 18.04 degrees Celsius. East and Northeast India, which also got the third rank in terms of the highest mean temperature. Its temperature was 17.71 against normal of 16.24, and hence the departure from normal was 1.47 degrees Celsius. Now, if you look at the time series over India for the month of January 2025, average minimum temperature and mean temperature. The top one is the average minimum temperature, and bottom one is the mean temperature. So what you find that in the recent years, you will find that it has been above normal minimum temperature. Starting from 2020, all years are above normal. Similarly, if I look at the mean temperature for past 3 years, that is 23, 24, and 25, has become the above normal mean temperature for the country as a whole. Similarly, for East and Northeast India, if I just look at what I find that it has become above normal since 2020, all the years for minimum temperature, and also from 2021, it is above normal for all the years for the East and Northeast India. Accordingly, East and Northeast India is the second highest temperature for the minimum, and it is the third highest for the mean temperature in January. Now, if you look at the various weather systems which occurred in the month of January, it was dominantly the western disturbances, and there were 7 western disturbances, and normally also 7 western disturbances form over or move over the region in the month of January. But out of those 7 western disturbances, 4 western disturbances moved very quickly in quick succession during week of 16 to 23 January. It gave rainfall activity in northwest India, but it was not so intense. But however, it gave the good rainfall or snowfall activity. And most of these western disturbances were lacking sufficient moisture incursion from the Arabian Sea, hence did not cause any significant rainfall or snowfall. But however, there was rainfall and snowfall. As a result, the precipitation over the western Himalayan region, like Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand, was deficient in the month of January. Above normal temperature across north and central India by causing winds which were having more days of southerly or easterly winds prevailed because of the anticyclonic circulation which lay over central part of India. It led to southerly and southwest wind, and also in the passage of western disturbances. Even though western disturbances did not cause rain, but it led to rise in temperature over northwest India. So therefore, temperature was higher. Now, this is another phenomena which occurred in the month of January, that is the withdrawal or you can cessation of the northeast monsoon rains. So northeast monsoon rains ceased over southeast peninsula on 27th of January. And if you look at there has been the cessation of rainfall in different dates, especially in the month of January in the past years. This is the data presented from 1990 to 2024. If you just look at this year, the commencement um, of rainfall occurred in 15th of October, and it is withdrawn from 27th January. So 15th October is the normal date of commencement of the northeast monsoon. So therefore, there was normal commencement of northeast monsoon, and 27th January is the withdrawal slightly delayed, you can say, from the normal. So this is the another phenomenon which occurred in the month of January, that is the dense fog situation over the northern plains. On certain occasions, it spread over Pakistan up to northeastern states across Bangladesh and Indo-Gangetic plains. So this occurred during 28 December to 18 January in many parts of the Indo-Gangetic plains in most states. Thereafter, it was mainly confined to eastern parts of IGP. Coastal Odisha also reported dense fog in most states during second half of January 2025. There was persistent fog in eastern part of the country, including Bihar, East UP, Jharkhand, parts of West Bengal, and parts of Odisha. Now, cold day and cold wave conditions, if we just look at in the month of January, I'll say that it was subdued because of the prevailing southerly winds or southwesterly winds over the northwest India, which is the cold core zone. The cold wave conditions could not occur so frequently, and there was very sporadic cold day or cold wave conditions. Below normal cold wave conditions occurred as predicted earlier during the month of January. So uh, it was 2 to 5 days in different pockets of the region. There was no well spread and durable cold day or cold wave conditions in the month of January. Now let us look at the rainfall forecast which we provided for the month of January. In the beginning of January we provided, and you can find out on the left hand side it is the observed rainfall for the month of January, and right hand side is the forecast rainfall. We predicted that there will be good rainfall activity in southern peninsula, western parts of the country, and it has occurred also in that. But in the eastern part of the country, northeastern states, of course, we told that there will be below normal activity. It has occurred like that. And some parts of northeast India below normal activity has occurred. But eastern parts of the country, where it was predicted that it will be above normal rainfall activity, that did not happen, and it was deficient rainfall over the eastern parts of the country. Then let us look at the temperature forecast. On the left-hand side, it is the observed temperature category, that is below normal, above normal, normal temperature category, T maximum. And then right-hand side is the maximum temperature forecast. So if I compare these two, I'll say that it is almost tallying with, as the forecast was generated by IMD, actually it has occurred in most parts of the country. Now, if I look at the minimum temperature, also we predicted that on left-hand side is the actual minimum temperature probability, and right-hand side is the forecast temperature probability minimum. And if you can compare, you will see that, yes, it is also agreed to a large extent, except some parts of northwest India. So to a large extent, we predicted that it will be above normal minimum temperature. It has occurred above normal minimum temperature, except northwest India, where it has become normal to below normal temperature. And the prediction in northwest India, like Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, and West Rajasthan, prediction was above normal minimum temperature, but it has become normal to below normal minimum temperature. Now, heavy rainfall activity, if you just look at, it was quite less. There was no extreme heavy rainfall activity, only 2 events of very heavy rainfall and 11 heavy rainfall activity. And mostly they occurred in Tamil Nadu, coastal Tamil Nadu, and 3 occasions in Assam. So it was quite below normal. If I compare the previous years, it was quite less, and this type of activity occurred in the 2023. In 2023, also, if you just see extremely heavy rainfall, there was no extremely heavy rainfall activity, and there was 11 days of heavy rainfall activity and 0 days of very heavy rainfall activity. So I think 2025 is better than 2023, but 2025 in recent years was the year when there was minimum heavy rainfall occurrence. Now let us look at the large scale features. This is with respect to global sea surface temperature departures from normal and El Nino southern oscillation conditions over the equatorial Pacific region. Now, if you just look at the area of concern, which is considered for our region, that is Nino 3.4, it is minus 0.9 degrees Celsius as for the CPC USA data. And you can see in the diagram on the left hand side that this is the blue color. This blue color indicates the below normal temperature. That is the central and east equatorial Pacific is below normal. Whereas you can find on the west equatorial Pacific, it is above normal temperature. So this indicates the weak La Nina conditions, minus 0.9. Weak La Nina conditions that last our press release we told that weak La Nina conditions are prevailing, and at present also weak La Nina conditions continue to prevail over the Pacific region. And if I look at the depth, you will find that this Nino 3.4 region, if you just look at continuously below normal temperatures are occurring starting from September. The trend started, and in the month of January, you can see that it has become quite less than minus 0.5, and hence accordingly it is satisfying the weak La Nina conditions. Now let us look at the forecast of El Nino Southern Oscillation and Indian Ocean Dipole based on January 2025 initial conditions. On the left-hand side, the blue bar indicates La Nina conditions probability, and gray indicates the normal or neutral conditions, and red indicates El Nino conditions. But you find that December, January, February, there is a very high probability of the La Nina conditions, followed by January, February, March, and February, March, April. So therefore, up to April, the forecast says that weaker La Nina conditions will continue to prevail. Then after that, If you look at March, April, May, the neutral, the gray color is dominating. That means neutral and so condition will prevail from May onwards. And same the case with April, May, June, then May, June, July, June, July, August. So we are expecting, therefore, during the ensuing summer season, commencing from May, June, etc., and the wind and the monsoon, summer monsoon, that is June, July, August, September, most probably there will be neutral conditions. Now, if I look at the different models, model prediction for El Nino Southern Oscillation, all are in also agreement that this weaker La Nina conditions, which is prevailing now, it will move towards the neutral ENSO conditions. And that is after April, and that may continue till end of the monsoon season. Now, in looking at the Indian Ocean Dipole, at present is a neutral Indian Ocean Dipole conditions is prevailing, and prediction says that this neutral Indian Ocean Dipole conditions will continue during the pre-monsoon season and the monsoon season. On the right hand side is the ensemble. You can find out that is also indicates that the neutral Indian Ocean Dipole conditions will continue during the coming months. Now, let us look at our model of monsoon mission climate forecast system. Here also it indicates that similar conditions, that neutral, weaker La Nina conditions are prevailing, and it will continue to prevail during February, March, and April. Now, probability also it is in agreement that up to April it will be the weaker La Nina conditions, and after that it will be neutral conditions prevailing till the end of monsoon season. This is the Indian Ocean Dipole. Same thing, neutral Indian Ocean Dipole conditions are expected in the ensuing months as for the monsoon mission climate forecast system. Now, this is the monthly rainfall probability forecast for February 2025. So you can find out on the diagram that many areas are yellow, and that yellow indicates that below normal probability. And there are certain areas in the western part of the country, like western part of the South Peninsula, southern parts of Tamil Nadu, and then some parts of West Central India, like southern parts of Gujarat and southwest parts of Madhya Pradesh. There you can expect normal to above normal rainfall activity. Now, but if you compare the entire country, then as a whole, we are expecting that rainfall average over North India is most likely to be below normal. That is less than 78% of long period average during February. Monthly rainfall over country as a whole during February 2025 is also most likely to be below normal. The long period average rainfall over North India and the country as a whole during February, based on data of 1971 and 2020, is 65 millimeter and 22.7 millimeter respectively. So, uh, as I was telling a little earlier, the below normal rainfall activity is likely over most parts of the country, except some parts of West Central India and the western part of the South Peninsular India. Now, let us look at the probabilistic forecast for the maximum and minimum temperatures during February 2025. On left-hand side diagram is the minimum temperature, and it indicates that most parts of the country, you can see the above normal minimum temperature is predicted. So monthly minimum temperature during February 2025 are most likely to be above normal over most parts of the country, except some regions in Northwest India and South Peninsular India, where it is likely to be normal. The green color indicates normal category, yellow, orange, red color indicates the above normal category, and blue color is not seen here, so that indicates the below normal temperature category. On the right hand side diagram, this is the maximum temperature. You can see also many parts, you have the yellow, orange, or red color. That means in many parts of the country, we are expecting the above normal maximum temperature during February 2025. Except some parts of West Central India. You can see here Madhya Pradesh and adjacent areas of Rajasthan and Gujarat and Maharashtra. There you can expect that it is normal to below normal minimum temperature. Then also you can find out certain areas in peninsular India where it is also green color and blue color. So there also you can expect the temperature to be normal to below normal. Also, you've got some other parts in UP and Jharkhand and Gazette West Bengal where normal minimum temperatures are also normal maximum temperatures are also expected. But what I want to say here that if I compare both, then what I find that Rajasthan and Punjab, Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, this area is having the expectation that temperature will be above normal in both cases. That is, minimum temperature is above normal, and also maximum temperature is expected to be above normal. Therefore, the mean temperature over this region will be the above normal. But if you talk of the, say for example, Madhya Pradesh and adjoining areas where minimum temperature is expected to be above normal, but maximum temperature is expected to be normal to below normal. Northeastern states, both maximum and minimum temperatures are expected to be above normal. Similarly, the major parts of the eastern India. Now, let us look at the cold wave conditions. The cold wave conditions, of course, climatologically, if you just look at it, is not quite high in the month of February. And our forecast is shown here in the left-hand side diagram. It shows the cold wave duration. That means number of days of expected cold wave conditions during February 2025. This color, what you find here, pink color, that indicates that it is below normal cold wave conditions. So below normal cold wave days are likely over the plains of northwest India. So we are expecting that usually, if you just look at how many cold wave days occurs, you will find that this is the normal condition of cold wave days. You get about 1 to 2 days of cold wave conditions in plains of northwest India, and sometimes 2 to 3 days in some parts of Madhya Pradesh or some isolated pockets of plains of Indo-Gangetic region. But the forecast is that it will be less than normal. That means at least 1 day less than normal. So hardly, therefore, you can have 1 or 2 days of cold wave conditions in some parts of Indo-Gangetic plains in the month of February. It will be below normal. Now, its impact, I just want to, it is just like some kind of implication, or you can say it is not a forecast, it is just analysis of what could happen because of this forecast. The below normal rainfall, along with the higher temperatures over the plains of northwest India, would have a significant adverse impact on the standing crops like wheat at flowering and grain filling stage in the month of February. Crops like mustard and chickpea may also experience early maturity. Horticultural crops like apple and other temperate stone fruits may experience premature bud break and early flowering due to warmer temperatures, resulting in poor fruit setting and quality, which may ultimately reflect in poor yield. The intermittent light irrigation will be required, therefore, to minimize the adverse impact and sustain the crop growth, as mentioned above. However, due to expected normal to below normal maximum temperature over Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, the adverse impacts of the cold wave or the whatever is expected below normal cold wave condition field crops will be limited. As we are not expecting cold wave, so that is not having such any adverse impact on the standing crops. But the higher temperatures has to be taken care, and for this purpose, required actions may be taken off. Now let us look at the extended range forecast of IMD and SMRWF. So there are two sets of extended range forecast model, which is utilized by IMD to provide forecast for next 4 weeks. So if you just look at 4 weeks forecast, what is found that for the week 1 and week 2, there will be normal to below normal rainfall activity. That is Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and adjoining areas. And based on this model, and the other model says that Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand could have some kind of higher rainfall activity. So considering both the models, we expect that the rainfall will be near normal over the Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. And otherwise, in southern peninsula region, already northeast monsoon has withdrawn. Therefore, most rainfall activity is not expected. But still, southern parts of Tamil Nadu and southern parts of Kerala can have the above normal rainfall activity in the week 1. and then it will be near normal activity in the week 2 and week 3. Now let us look at the warning issued today for the next 5 days. As all of us know that one after the other, the western disturbance is passing over the western Himalayan region. A fresh western disturbance is observed as a trough in the middle and upper tropospheric levels running along around 63 degree to the north of 28 degree north. That means it is, you can say, roughly over Iran and adjoining areas. It is now lying. Another phase western disturbance is likely to affect northwest India on 3rd February. So its impact, therefore, will be on 3rd February. We can expect rainfall or snowfall over the western Himalayan region, especially Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand. Over the adjoining plains like Punjab, Haryana, there could be light to very light rainfall activity in certain areas or you can say a few places. So fairly, but scattered to fairly widespread, light to moderate rainfall or snowfall is expected over the western Himalayan region. That is Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. Otherwise, in the adjoining plains, we are just expecting at a few places light rainfall activity or very light rainfall activity. That area includes Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh during the period of 3rd to 6th of February. मैं आप सभी को थोड़े हिंदी में जानकारी दूंगा कि फरवरी 2025 के दौरान वर्षा का संभाव्य पूर्वानुमान। फरवरी 2025 के दौरान उत्तर भारत के 7 मौसम संबंधी उपखंड जैसे कि पूर्वी उत्तर प्रदेश, पश्चिम उत्तर प्रदेश, उत्तराखंड, हरियाणा, पंजाब, हिमाचल प्रदेश, जम्मू कश्मीर और लद्दाख में औसत वर्षा सामान्य से नीचे यानी लॉन्ग पीरियड एवरेज का 78% से नीचे होने का संभावना है। फरवरी 2025 के दौरान पूरे देश में मासिक वर्षा भी सामान्य से कम, दैट इज लॉन्ग पीरियड एवरेज, जो उसके 81% से कम होने का संभावना है। हम दीर्घावधि का आंकड़ा देखें तो 1971 टू 2020 के आंकड़ों के आधार पर फरवरी के दौरान उत्तर भारत और पूरे देश में वर्षा का एलपीए क्रमशः 65 मिलीमीटर और 22.7 मिलीमीटर होता है। यानी 65 मिलीमीटर जो है उत्तर भारत का नॉर्मल रेनफॉल है फरवरी महीने के लिए और 22.7 मिलीमीटर नॉर्मल रेनफॉल है पूरी देश के लिए। और ये 65 मिलीमीटर की 78% से कम बारिश होने का संभावना है उत्तर भारत में और 22.7 मिलीमीटर की 81% से कम बारिश होने का संभावना है पूरी देश के लिए। देश के अधिकांश हिस्सों में सामान्य से लेकर सामान्य से अधिक ऋतुनिष्ठ वर्षा होने की संभावना है। केवल उत्तर पश्चिम भारत के कुछ हिस्सों, पूर्व के कुछ हिस्सों और पूर्वोत्तर भारत के कई हिस्सों को छोड़कर जहां सामान्य से नीचे बारिश होने का संभावना है। सो मोटा मोटी तो मैंने एज ए होल आप देखेंगे तो बिलो नॉर्मल रेनफॉल होने का संभावना है पूरी कंट्री के लिए। सो न्यूनतम तापमान की बात करें तो फरवरी 2025 के दौरान देश के अधिकांश हिस्सों में सामान्य से अधिक तापमान रहने की संभावना है, सिवाय उत्तर पश्चिम भारत और दक्षिण प्रायद्वीपीय भारत के कुछ क्षेत्रों को छोड़कर जहां तापमान सामान्य रहने की संभावना है। और फरवरी 2025 के दौरान देश के अधिकांश हिस्सों में सामान्य से लेकर सामान्य से अधिक तापमान रहने की संभावना है। केवल पश्चिम मध्य भारत और दक्षिण प्रायद्वीपीय भारत को छोड़कर कुछ हिस्सा को छोड़कर जहां अधिकतम तापमान सामान्य से नीचे रहने का संभावना है, जैसे यहाँ चित्र से दिखाई दे रहा है। अभी हम शीतलहर का बात करें तो फरवरी 2025 माह के लिए पूर्वानुमान ऐसा है कि फरवरी 2025 के महीने के दौरान उत्तर पश्चिम भारत के कुछ भागों में सामान्य से नीचे शीतलहर वाले दिन रहने का संभावना है। यानी जितना शीतलहर दिखाई देता है वहां से कम होगा और 1-2 दिन कम होगा और यूजुअली 2 से 3 दिन शीतलहर होता है फरवरी महीने में उत्तर भारत के मैदानी इलाका में और इससे 1-2 दिन कम होने का संभावना है। यानी सिर्फ 1-2 दिन के लिए शीतलहर फरवरी महीने में होने का संभावना दिखाई दे रहा है। सो धन्यवाद आप सभी को, थैंक यू वेरी मच। अभी आप सभी को कुछ मेरा आग्रह करूंगा कि कोई प्रश्न है तो कोई कमेंट्स है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं और बोल सकते हैं।
हेलो सर।
एनी क्वेश्चंस? हाँ बोलिए अंकित जी।
सर एक्चुअली मेरा बीच में कनेक्शन कट हो गया था, तो थोड़ा एक डाउट था कि ये लालिना कंडीशंस कब से एक्टिवेट हो जाएगी और कब से स्टार्ट हो जाएगी?
जैसे हम लास्ट महीने बताए थे ना, वीकर लानिना कंडीशंस डेवलप हो चुका है और वीकर लानिना कंडीशंस अभी कंटिन्यू कर रहा है और अप्रैल महीने तक वीकर लानिना कंडीशंस प्रिवेल करेगा। इसके बाद न्यूट्रल एलिनो सदर्न ऑस्ट्रेलियन कंडीशंस बाय एनसो कंडीशंस न्यूट्रल होगा और न्यूट्रल कंडीशंस मई से शुरू करके सितंबर तक रहने का संभावना है। यानी न्यूट्रल कंडीशंस रहेगा हमारा जो पीक समर मंथ होता है मई महीना का, और इसके बाद जो समर मानसून सीजन का होता है जून टू सितंबर।
और जून जून टू सितंबर भी न्यूट्रल रहेगा क्या?
न्यूट्रल कंडीशन होगा और एलिनो तो रूल्ड आउट है, एलिनो कंडीशन नहीं होगा।
ओके, थैंक यू सर।
Good evening, sir. Request you to please elaborate on why we couldn't predict the below normal rains in January. Thank you.
हाँ वो तो थैंक यू सृष्टि जी। सो rainfall prediction is based on dynamical MME as we present every time। और जनवरी महीने का जो रेनफॉल होता है एक्चुअली इट इज वेरी लेस इन मैग्नीट्यूड एंड इट शोज हाई वेरिएबिलिटी फ्रॉम ईयर टू ईयर। एंड for this purpose also, when we give presentation, there will be put some dotted marks. The dotted marks in the area of the country indicates that the rainfall amount is quite less and shows high variability, and hence the predictability is quite less. So the model which we utilize, the predictability is quite less in the month of January or in the month of February because rainfall amount is quite less.
सर जयश्री हियर फ्रॉम हिंदुस्तान
हाँ
टाइम्स।
बोलिए मैडम जयश्री।
सर एक चीज पूछना था, आपने बोला फरवरी में 1 से 2 दिन कोल्ड वेव होता है नॉर्मल नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया के लिए। सर वो मुझे सुनाई नहीं दिया ठीक से, पर बता दें।
हाँ मैं बोलता हूँ कि the cold wave conditions whatever develops in the country, its frequency is maximum in the month of January followed by the December
राइट सर।
and then February. So therefore, as we are moving towards February, normally climatologically the cold wave conditions are less.
ओके
And I also showed the climatology. Climatologically, it is about 1 to 3 days. In certain pockets of the Indo-Gangetic plains, it is 3 days, and otherwise up to Madhya Pradesh and remaining Indo-Gangetic plains covering Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, up to Bihar or northeastern state, it is about 1 to 2 days only cold wave conditions prevails. And as per forecast, what we issued today, the cold wave conditions are expected to be below normal. So that means how many days below normal? That our figure says it will be 1 to 2 days below normal. Okay. So that means what is the probability of occurrence? It is only 1 to 2 days only. Okay?
राइट
So yeah, so therefore it is very less cold wave conditions what we are expecting in month of February.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
Thank you.
Sir, La Nina conditions are usually related
हाँ
to
बोलिए
very.
सुब्रमण्यम जी। हाँ
Sir, usually.
please repeat your question.
Yeah, usually during La Nina we experience heavy rain. There are floods also, but we don't see that that typical character of La Nina currently. Any specific reason?
Actually, La Nina relationship with heavy rainfall or the rainfall is quite valid for monsoon season. Okay. And this forecast is not for monsoon season, this forecast for the month of February. And February, we do not get that type of rainfall activity. It is a dry month almost, you can say, only because of western disturbance, we get some rainfall activity in the western Himalayan region and adjoining plains. Otherwise, February is not a rainiest month or a rainy month, actually. It is one of the driest months. So it has no relationship with La Nina conditions as such. But La Nina has certain impact on the temperature. Usually La Nina influences to have the below normal temperature, but as it is weaker La Nina conditions prevailing, it is not able to influence perhaps, number one. Number two is that there is already a trend of climate change, that temperature is in the rising trend. So therefore, the impact of La Nina also is countered by the climate change which is occurring over the globe. So because of that also, this weaker La Nina is not helping to have cold wave conditions or to have below normal temperatures for a continuous period.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Very good.
Any other questions or comments? So if not, then I thank you very much on behalf of India Meteorological Department and my personal behalf. So we are working together, and I'm very much thankful to all of you for your active support and cooperations. And I assure you that we will be always near you to provide all information whenever and wherever required. And we'll meet again next month to provide the forecast for the summer season, that is March, April, May, not so forecast for March. Thank you very much.